Welcome to the quiz tutorial. This tutorial will cover 4 aspects of quiz. We'll first look into adding content to Lightbox 3. Then we'll be creating a quiz screen with that content. Next we will be styling our quiz with themes. And lastly, we will briefly look at creating a menu to link to multiple quiz screens.
To access the manager, hold the bottom left of the screen for 5 seconds. You will now see a series of options. Choose Launch Manager and input your PIN. The default PIN is 874100. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm going to reset the Lightbox data and create a quiz screen from fresh. The first step in creating a quiz is to upload the content we intend to use to create the screen. This includes images for the quiz, background, quiz end screen, and so on. This is done in the library. We can simply drag and drop our media files like so. Files can be quickly organised via options at the top. For more info on that, check out the Lightbox overview video. Now we have our content uploaded, let's make a start on our first quiz. On the Screens tab, press the plus icon and select Quiz. Our quiz screen is split into 4 simple tabs. The first tab we'll look at is General. Here we can name our screen. We can also set a background here, or we can set it later in the theme settings. The pool size determines how many questions are asked during each quiz playthrough. Whilst you can also set it to random. This allows you to make the quiz different every time somebody plays it. For example, you can make 10 questions and set the pool size to 5, and select Randomize. Now each time the quiz is played, it will select 5 random questions from the pool. However, if you don't randomize the pool, the first 5 questions will be asked, then the next playthrough, the next 5 questions will be asked, and so on. We will create our questions in the Questions tab shortly. We can also set text for our labels like so. It's important to note that the General tab is where you set a theme. We'll talk more about this later. The next tab is Intro. This tab lets us customize the introduction page. You can set an image, put in a title and body if you wish, and customize the start button. Now we move on to the Questions tab. This is where we create the questions for our quiz. It's important to note that you need to set enough questions in order to meet your pool amount. So because we set our pool size to 5 questions, we need to create 5 or more questions. We're going to create our questions. Hit the plus icon and type in your first question under question text. We can then set the media which will be displayed next to the question, as well as a time limit. Now for the question answers. We can set up to 4 different answers for the questions. You must set at least 2 answers, however you can have an optional 3 or 4 answers if you'd like. Now set which answer is correct, like so. You can then set a response for when the user has answered the question. Set your media, and text to go with it. I'm now going to create some more questions. As I mentioned earlier, the pool size is set to 5 random questions, but we have set 10 questions. This means when the quiz is played through, 5 questions will be randomly selected from the 10 each time. The last tab is Quiz End.
This is the pop-up displayed upon the completion of your quiz. You can set score brackets for your quiz depending on the user's score. For this quiz, I'm going to split the score bracket into 20%, 40%, 60%, 80% and 100%. This means if users get up to 20% of the questions correct, they are shown the 20% pop-up. If they get up to 40%, they are shown the 40% pop-up, and so on. You can also set an image to be displayed upon this pop-up, as well as text. Let me quickly create each bracket. Now the quiz is complete, we need to allow visitors to access it. If you only have one quiz game, you simply need to set your game as the home screen like so. If however you want to share more than one game or are linking to other Lightbox-av applications, you will need a menu screen. We'll go over this later, but first let's look into creating a theme to style our quiz game. The theme section is where you're able to further customize how your content is presented in the viewer. The default theme applies to all your screens as standard. You can edit this theme if you want, or create a completely new one to apply to individual screens, or even set to the new default. We're going to work on a new one. Click the plus icon or simply duplicate an existing theme like so. The first thing to do when working on a new theme is to set the preview to the screen it applies to. You can then give your theme a name. For quiz, the only theme options you need to worry about are General, Panels, Pop-ups and Quiz. Let's go over the different tabs. We'll first look at General. There are a number of options in the General tab. You can set a default background for this theme, which will be applied to every screen with this theme attached. However, it's worth mentioning you can override the theme background in the individual screen settings as we did look at earlier. In the specific buttons area, you can change the appearance of the screen's back and close button, as you can see here. The next tab is Panels. This is where you change the appearance of your various panels, in this case the one displayed in the introductory page. Edit the fill color for the panel and border. We can also change the font colors, weight, and style. You can also edit the panel button color, and border. Changes to the font style, weight, and color can be made here. The next tab after this is Pop-ups. The Pop-ups tab allows you to make changes to your response and game end screens. We can edit the overlay color and opacity like so. And we can set a fill color in the panel styles section, as well as making changes to the border. Alterations to the text color, style, and weight can be made here. You can also customize the panel button here. Changes can be made to the colors and border.
We can also change our close button image in the icon section. The final tab is Quiz tab. This is where you can customize the appearance of your quiz game, including the colours and border of your information panels that are displayed at the top of your quiz. We can also change our text style, weight, and colour for this panel. Icon changes for this panel can be made here. The text panels is where information for our questions are displayed. We can change the fill colour and border. As well as the font colour, style, and weight. Your unselected answer indicator can be customized here. You can change the fill colour, and the answer icon. If a user gets a question correct, we can customize the indicator for it like so. Change the fill colour and border, as well as the icon displayed in the indicator. We can do the same thing if the user gets a question wrong as well. Customization to the quit button can also be made here. We can change the fill colour, border, and font style, weight, and colour. We can make changes to the quit icon here, as well as the start quiz button icon below. Now we've finished editing our theme, we need to attach it to a puzzle screen. First save your theme, then head back to the Screens tab. We then need to go to our quiz screen, and under the Style section, choose this theme from the drop-down. As I mentioned earlier, if you want to use more than one quiz game or share multiple Lightbox applications, you will need a menu screen. So first let me create a second quiz screen to show you how the menu system works. For a more in-depth look at the menu system, check out our menu and Attractor tutorial. Now let's create a menu. Creating a menu is similar to creating a quiz screen. Hit the plus icon and select menu. Here we have three different tabs: General, Menu Options, and Layout. General lets you set the screen name, background, theme, and text if you want it. We'll leave it all as standard for now. The most important tab we need to look at here is the Menu Options tab. The Menu Options tab is where you create links to your quiz screens. Hit the plus icon, tell the item to link to a quiz screen, set an image, and give it a label. The last tab is the Layout tab. This allows us to change various sizing options. For now, we'll just look at the Tiles options and change the size of our menu thumbnails. Once you're done, hit save. Then set your menu as the home screen like so. If you want to preview your quiz, hit the red launch button. The quiz tutorial is complete. If you have any questions, please get in touch. For more information on other tutorials, go to blackbox-av.co.uk/lightbox. Thanks for watching.